and welcome to the next in our series of interviews for Weight of a Chip. We have Katrina Foley, the Artistic Director of Wandering Star Theatre Company, here with us today. So how are things? How are you getting on?
Good.
Very good. So yeah, what is, so obviously the Weight of a Chip is starting next week, 18th February, and it's in the Found Space here downstairs in Fionbarras, and so what would your own experience be of working in a found space as a director or as a producer?
As a director and as a performer, I've worked in found spaces or like non-traditional spaces, I suppose. So places like hubs, like yourselves in Fionbarras downstairs, in like old government buildings, so places with low ceilings and very tight confined spaces. I've also worked in historical spaces, so I worked as an assistant director in the Elizabeth Fort.
Okay.
So you're working with history and places that don't necessarily have complete electricity. And then you're putting on a full site production in there.
Indeed.
So all the different challenges there.
Yeah, so I suppose was that the Coconut Show?
Yeah.
Very good. Up in Elizabeth Fort. Nice one. And like, what were the sort of like challenges, I suppose, that you face when working in a found space in comparison to working in like a more traditional theatre?
There's loads of different challenges there, but I think that every challenge there gives you an opportunity for something else. So like a big challenge in somewhere that's not a theatre space, often your first thing you're looking at is power, electricity, equipment. So you're looking at, okay, how am I going to light the thing so that the audience can see it? How are we going to make it a space where people can hear and listen and engage and focus in and not be distracted by everything else that's going on around you? Which obviously is something that would happen in like a historical space or a publican space or something where the form is usually quite different to theatre. So it's somewhere where people go to look at something with reverence, or it's somewhere people go to socialise. It's not always a place where people go to be entertained.
And then like, I suppose like what opportunities to spaces like that also kind of give you as a director, like again versus working in a kind of traditional theatre space.
You have the opportunity to give people an experience they haven't had before, and to flip their perspective on a space. So like by going into a space where people usually sit down and have a chat with their friends and have a cigarette and have a drink or whatever, and then you're asking them to come and watch and pay attention completely to something that they wouldn't necessarily do. It just flips their perspective on being in a space and what that space gives to them.
No, I think like there's a lot of kind of opportunities. It's great, like that's what's exciting, I suppose, for us about it as well, is like the sort of reinventing of the space, or like re-establishing or re-establishing the function of it, and like characterising different features of the space in a different way and things. I think that's always kind of exciting as a design team.
And that's the beauty of working somewhere that already has a sort of atmosphere and an identity, I suppose, is you can choose to incorporate that into your piece. Or you can choose to flip it on its head. Like something downstairs in Fionbarras that always sticks in my head is the statues. So like using the opportunity to use them within it, or to use them as something else so that people see them as something other.
No, they're definitely interesting kind of challenges. And then I suppose the Weight of a Chip is obviously it's a tragedy, and kind of tragedy being like a very important, say, historical genre. Like, what would you feel is what is your experience of working with tragedy as a genre?
It's funny, I was thinking about this, like tragedy as a word has so much weight behind it. like for me straight away, I think tragedy, I think Shakespeare, I think Grecian, I think that like it's such a heavy genre. But when you think about it in like terms of real life, there's tragedy all over, and like for it's like the faces, the symbol of theatre, the tragedy and comedy. Like life has both those sides all the time. So I was thinking to myself, have I ever even worked on a show that was tragedy? But like everything has elements to that, and I think even doing a tragedy, it's not going to be all the way through a droge. Like you have your light moments, your like elements of dark comedy. You know, everything is one within that tragedy. You know. So I think like working on stories that have elements of darkness to them. I worked on a documentary theatre piece that was about the murder of a young guy and the town and the people surrounding it, and like that's a tragic story. It's not classed as a tragedy in the genre, but like those elements are there in lots of stories.
Yeah, for sure. And then like I suppose, what do you feel like the importance of tragedy as a genre kind of is to modern times? Because I suppose we kind of spoke a little bit about, you know, you alluded to there like the historic like Shakespearean times or like in ancient Greece and how important of a genre it was. Then how do you feel like it's still a relevant genre? Do you still feel, what do you feel like the importance of it is to modern times?
It's kind of similar in the functions that it would have been way back then, is for catharsis and still entertainment. Like entertainment doesn't just mean sitting and laughing at something, it's about experiencing something in a communal space and being transported out of your own story to be able to look at something subjective, you know. So I think that function of catharsis and a shared experience and entertainment is still the value of tragedy on stage as much as tragedy in the cinema. Like how many times do we go see tearjerkers and we go see devastating stories because we want to feel something?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And there's definitely something very immediate about experiencing like painful situations with a whole, you know, with a group of people and a shared experience, like you're saying. Definitely. It's quite an arresting kind of thing. So, no, it's interesting. And then I suppose just to move on to our next question, I suppose we were discussing, so obviously like as a company, Strive works a lot with new writing and new material, and like for you, I suppose like what is your experience of working with new writing?
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking about sort of the weight of it, and you kind of think that, you know, what's the percentage of new writing and script work? Because we as Wandering Star, part of our ethos is that it's new and established writers that we work with, and we like to keep that kind of balance because I think, yes, it's great to hear new stories and to hear new writers, but there's so many established plays out there that have so much capacity that they deserve as much.
Yeah, you know? Absolutely.
So that's something we look at in our work. But as I was thinking back to everything I've worked on as a director, as a producer, as a performer, I think it's pretty much 50-50 that I've done. Like even working on new pieces in a found space, that's happened to me several times. I did a series of new plays in a found space where we like turned it into a black space and just neutralized everything, which is, you know, sometimes you can respond to the space or you can neutralize the space, whichever. And that was a real success. Like we did 11 brand new stories that were from all over the world, from different dimensions, from different genres, like, and that's something that's always been really dear to my heart. And the beauty of working with all that new writing and seeing all the brand new stories, like stories we've never heard before, all these amazing new characters that you wouldn't ever think of putting on stage, and like seeing things from a different perspective. Like we had a scene where we had 2 young children playing with dolls, but we cast 2 much older actors in
Nice.
that, you know, just to kind of take that opportunity. You're somewhere else, you're under no obligations to anyone, just like flip the script and see what you can do. And you can do that with new writing because no one's there to tell you you can't.
Yeah, definitely, like, I suppose opens up more avenues of like experimentation and things in the way you're saying there, like something quite freeing, I think, about working with a new script.
Particularly if the writer is invested and involved in the production. Like when you have that conversation there to be like, okay, you've written this, you've created this, we are looking at it this way, what do you think? And creating that conversation and having those discussions, it's beautiful, I think, when a writer and a company come together to do that. Because each will approach a script so differently and each will create a story so differently.
And for Lex, I don't know if you had Liam there in that way, and I suppose, there's definitely a big advantage to that. Actually, we have that like capability on this project, and like I think there is a lot to be said for that. I think it's nice to be able to have the writer involved in. So then just on to our final question, which would be like, I suppose, a bit of a lead on from what we were talking about there, is like what kind of challenges or opportunities are faced by a director, like specifically, I suppose, working with new writing versus working with a more established script. So when you were saying there that you kind of experienced about half and half, you're in a good position to speak to that. So what would you say the kind of opportunities and challenges of writing with new? In that way.
So obviously when you get a published script, you have your contract with the writer and you agree to produce that script, perform that script the way it's written. And that's fantastic because people know it works and it's an established thing, and your audience have an expectation when they're coming to see a published script that they're going to see that script. And that's all cool. Because usually you go to that story because you love the story, you love the characters. But with a new script, you have that opportunity because no one has any expectations yet to kind of assess that and kind of look at it in a different way, or just to engage the writer with those questions that you often have when you're sitting down as a director, an actor, producer, whatever, and you're trying to get inside the writer's head. You can actually engage that writer in a conversation, so you can get underneath all that stuff much quicker, much earlier. You can get a couple of different perspectives on things while you're producing it. And it's really an invaluable conversation to have. I know sometimes you don't have that even with new writing, because you can have a brand new script that the writer has given the team, and that's the script that you're doing. But in that sense, you're still presenting something brand new to your audience. You're still presenting something brand new to your actors that no one has ever seen before. And that's so exciting. To tell a story that's never been heard. For an actor to embody a character that no one's ever seen before, and to be the first person to really like present that character to an audience is really exciting for a company.
That's sure. I think so. Just in terms of working with more established scripts, then I suppose there is that sort of temptation to invent something new about it, or to put your own stamp on it, or in that way. Very good, though. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
For coming in.
Best of luck with the show.
Thank you, and that's Katrina Foley, and